Now listen, yes, that title is in fact clickbait, but like any good hyperbole, there is some truth in the exaggeration. We stand by it. Suros Regime is by far the best auto rifle in Destiny 2 as of right now. In terms of when it comes down to wanting to win your games, win your gunfights, if you're going to use an auto rifle, Suros is the first and correct choice. Yes, you can use other options. Destiny 2 is a very open-ended sandbox in terms of primary gunplay right now. You can use basically anything that isn't a scout rifle, at least for now. But while yes, the meta is certainly open-ended when you're playing just your average match or quick play, it's just a simple fact. As the games get sweatier and winning becomes more and more necessary, things are going to slowly compress. People are going to move towards the best options. And here are a couple of hard to swallow pills about auto rifles right now. Straight up, SMGs and pulse rifles accomplish the auto rifle role better than any comparable auto rifle. Straight up, that is the state of the game. So if you're going to use an auto rifle at the highest level when winning matters most, then it needs to have something to stand out. It needs to either duel in the pulse range with a competent TTK, or it needs to be shreddy enough to hold its own in that close mid-fight against hand cannons and submachine guns. Well, it turns out that Suros Regime, both perks, accomplish exactly that. So today, we're going to break down the Suros Regime, what you should be doing while you're using it, and why it is in fact the best auto rifle in the game. So before we get too deep into that, make sure you guys take a second, like the video, subscribe to the channel, help us reach 6,000 subscribers. We're almost there. That's part of the small goal, the first step to the long-term goal of 10,000 subscribers. So subscribe today to get instantaneous 500 KD, 600 flawlesses, and every god roll you've ever wanted. Make sure you leave a comment down below to boost this video in the algorithm as well, and let's get back to the video. Alright, let's talk Suros. Suros is one of the OG big dogs from Destiny 1 Vanilla, and it's actually one of the first OP weapons in Destiny Crucible history, if you can cast your mind that far back. It's already been meta one time in Destiny 2 back during the 600 auto revoker meta, where it was undoubtedly the top 1 or 2 primary in the game alongside 900. And since then, it's been a little bit forgotten, even underrated, because Suros has a great stat package to compete in the current meta. Suros has 2 distinct forms. It has the spinning up variation, where holding down the trigger will increase your rate of fire, and then of course the classic legacy focus fire variation, where while aiming down sights, you effectively turn the Suros into the best high impact auto rifle in the game. The high impact version allows you to duel with pulse rifles. You gotta think of the spinning up version as your discount SMG. It shreds in the close to close mid range and duels with hand cannons. These 2 distinct playstyles arguably make Suros one of the most adaptable primaries in the game because it can really fit any situation. Your longer range maps, you can favor focus fire. Your closer range maps, you can favor spinning up. You gotta get to pick and choose how you go about playing Suros. Unfortunately, there is a better option of the 2. And I say unfortunately because I'm a bit biased here. Spinning up is definitely the better perk of the 2, but I like focus fire better. We're gonna break that down right now. Now I bring it up, and I will continue to bring it up whenever it is relevant in these reviews. Destiny is a game where if it was a solar system, the meta would always revolve around the sun. The sun is adaptive 140 hand cannons. These are the default, the standard. This is the benchmark that all weapons must compete against in the game, because hand cannons are the most versatile, most used, and the most adaptive primary to every gunfight situation. That's why they're so popular. If a weapon can't compete with 140 hand cannons, it's not going to be in the meta. Starting with the focus fire variation of Suros. This turns it into a high impact auto rifle. This ups the damage to 36 per crit and moves our time to kill to 0.83 seconds optimally, requiring all of your crits to hit. Compare that to spinning up. Once you hit max rate of fire, your optimal time to kill becomes 0.67 seconds, also requiring all of your crits to hit. That is of course the golden ratio time to kill of the high impact pulse rifles and of course SMGs like Multimach. So while both these time to kills are great and do beat 140 hand cannons, the devil lies in the details. Destiny is not a game played on paper, and none of us are going to hit 100% of our crits 100% of the time unless you want BattleEye to start acting up on your system. So while the optimal time to kills are great, we need to look at the adjusted or average time to kills to really see why Focus Fire falls behind. When you account for any misses, the moment you miss any shot with the Focus Fire Suros, your time to kill ends up in the 0.9 to 1 second range, and that's when you start losing your gunfights. Whereas with Spinning Up, you still can end up in the 0.7, 0.8, you can still end up faster than hand cannons when you're getting a few body shots mixed into your time to kill. And that's where Focus Fire really starts to fall off. It's great in theory, it feels great to play with, it's my preferred mode for the weapon, but it has a heavy reliance on damage boosts, it gets punished by corner peeking, and frankly, if you're just not hitting your shots, you're going to get punished by more forgiving weapons in the meta. Comparatively, Spinning Up just has more benefits. It has the faster base time to kill, it still has enough range to compete with hand cannons and some pulse rifles, it has the time to kill and forgiveness to compete with SMGs in the close range, all while being an overall forgiving primary with good average time to kill and amazing optimal time to kill if you can forgive it. Apologies, that's my dog being a butthead in the background. I need to let her out to the bathroom real quick apparently. Alright, now we got that out of the way, let's talk a little bit about playstyle. Suros does have high impact reserves as an intrinsic perk, and the chance to heal you on every kill, with the catalyst giving you an increased chance to heal you on every kill. Now a chance is a chance is still a chance, do not rely on this healing to bail you out, especially in gunfights, because you never know when it's going to happen. There's a lot of free healing in the game right now, rely on that instead, and just consider that a side benefit that will come up every once in a while. The high impact reserves, on the other hand, is something you can make use of, but not in the way that I think most people go about it. A lot of people think that you should use Suros by dumping some of your magazine, getting close to half, and then engaging in your gunfights to get the maximum benefit of the damage boost. And while you can do that, I think it's another case of the on-paper scenario being worse than actual gameplay. The fact is, Destiny is not a game of isolated 1v1s, you're often fighting multiple people. So honestly, you should just be going about this with a full magazine, and instead get in the habit of not over-reloading. You can get the first kill without getting close to half of your magazine being used. Instead of just passively reloading, as is the habit in standard with every other weapon, don't reload and try and go for the next enemy behind them, and then you get your high impact reserve benefit. It's tough because, like everyone else, I'm a reflexive reloader. If I'm not at full capacity, I want to reload, so it's a hard muscle memory to unlearn. But when you get in the habit of just letting it be, taking more than one gunfight before reloading, you're going to get the passive benefit of high impact reserves. Other than that, this is a medium range primary that will lose to pulse rifles as soon as you get beyond 35 meters in terms of damage fall off. So Suros is best played like an SMG. You're going to want to pair it with a longer range special weapon. A glaive is a good option, snipers are probably your best choice, and even some fusion rifles are still good. But if it's a close range map, don't be afraid to go full monkey and pull out the shotgun. That's a classic combo. Lastly, let's talk damage boosts. While yes, Focus Fire gets a dramatic time to kill decrease with any damage boost, Spinning Up instead gains great consistency from a damage boost. You're not going to actually change your time to kill or your bullets needed to kill, but what you're going to change is the crit requirement. And as I've talked about before, changing the crit requirement is still massive because it gives you more forgiveness. Radiant is so easily spammed in the current meta that you should be using it if you're running a solar subclass. If you're going to use it with Suros, you're still going to get great benefit out of it because you can reach that blazing fast 0.67 time to kill even easier than you otherwise would. So don't think that your damage boost is wasted. I really hate that conception. It's why kill clip is still great on 140 hand cannons. Anytime you can shift your crit ratio, you should do it because we're not perfect. Overall, Suros is my first choice. If you put a gun to my head and said, hey, go flawless in trials with an auto rifle, I'm going to Suros every single time. It is the most consistent auto rifle, it delivers the best gameplay experience, it's a goddamn laser beam, everything about it feels good, it looks good, sounds good, it brings back happy memories of Destiny 1. It's just a perfect exotic. It sits right where it should be in the meta, it doesn't need any more changes. The only thing I would ever adjust to Suros is maybe the high impact auto rifle archetype as a whole needs a little bit of love, but that's a separate discussion for another day. As of right now, Suros is the best auto rifle, and if you're an auto rifle enthusiast, I highly recommend you give it a try. But that is the end of this video. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe to the channel to help us reach our goals, and leave a comment down below. Do you use Suros often? If you haven't used it in a bit, I recommend you pick it up, give it a try, and let us know how you feel about it in the comments down below. What would you like to see us review next? We'll take your suggestions and keep them in mind. As always, my name is Lionhearts, but keep in mind, I am but the mouthpiece of this channel. I am not alone. My good friend and business partner Gumi is constantly helping me. He is the better gameplay getter of the two of us. He's always out here hitting crazy stuff to put into these videos to give you guys some visual enjoyment, and without him, this channel wouldn't operate. I am simply just the guy who delivers the commentary in the videos. So make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe for more, and we'll see you in the next video.